Anyway.
We back. So what we talking about? Oh yeah, so we're in the ER day after July 4th. It's like prime time, injury time in New York. Like,
yes,
there's a lot going on.
Yes.
And yeah, so you were saying how like it's hard dealing with the stress.
Anything can affect you, right?
And so it just got like
anything can affect you.
People out there just like yelling in the ER.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here. And then you got like crazy things you're seeing passing by you, like people with severe injuries just being, wheeled in, blood everywhere. Like, you just see a lot of stuff the more hours you spend in the ER. You've got like really old people who are like getting bad news, like they might die tonight, like crazy stuff, like the guy you had in your room had like cancer.
Yeah, totally.
And it was not looking good for him, like, and that was super stressful to think about. And his wife was like getting really emotional, and like, let alone like that just sucked for the situation that it is. But like that was, I could see that like you'd be like fine for a couple minutes, and then something would happen, and then you'd be in a lot of discomfort, like kind of shifting around, trying to find a way to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And then the air was getting more in your lungs the more you wait, so it's just like sort of time was like
before, like that's the worst time is before they treat you, and you're just sitting waiting. Or laying in the bed just waiting for them to treat you, because you just got to sit there and deal with the pain, but you can't go nowhere, you can't move around. What you can do, take walks in the ER, like
take laps around the ER.
That's not gonna happen. So you just got to sit there and deal with it, it's hard to even so you can take your mind off it. I mean, we did our best. Like, we were joking and laughing the whole time, like, to the best of our abilities. But, like Dom said, with the person who's sick, next to me, that kind of, like, put things in perspective. Because, usually you can look at a sick person and be like, damn, like, that's messed up. But once you realize, like, okay, like, I'm in the bed next to this person. Like, I'm here for a reason. Like, they're in the ER for a reason. I'm in the ER for a reason. Because what's going on with me is very serious as well. So there's a reason that we're here together in this room. And realizing that, just kind of like, it just kind of makes you understand the situation a little bit deeper. Just like, you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. Because he's talking about his experiences, I don't know, he's dealing with, what he has to deal with, having cancer.
Oh, yeah.
And, like his body doesn't function the way it's supposed to be.
Like he wants it to, but it just won't do it.
Yeah, and he's saying these things, and then I'm realizing in my head, like, damn, like, I mean, I don't have cancer, but my body's doing like the same thing. My body's not functioning the way it should be. So yeah, you're basically helpless. Like you're just at the will, of the people working there in the hospital or whoever can help you. Like you can't really do much in the situation. Yeah. You don't have any control. But yeah, that definitely put it in perspective a lot. Is like, like I definitely, my situation is not necessarily as serious as that, but it's like, okay, like I'm here for a reason because it's a very serious situation.
Yeah, especially like when they couldn't figure out where the air was coming from. It could get really worse.
So around like 3 or 4 in the morning, they came back with like a diagnosis of like a collapsed lung, air is escaping. And it's in your chest, and it's in my chest, and they're pushing on my chest. Like, see, that's air right there. But I slowly started to feel a little better from the IV, the IV in my
fluids in you.
Then they make you drink this sterile water to like clean everything out. And
I remember that.
Yeah, it's this big.
A big thing of sterile water. Yeah.
And that looked good to me. Like, I was like, yo,
you're like, ooh, refreshing.
Anything, anything, please. Like,
or also just like something that could be helping you, Yes. Like you didn't have anything to work with until that moment.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I'm like, please give me something.
Yeah, like you want to feel like you're participating and making yourself feel better.
Yeah, so the IV, the sterile water, I started feeling a little better. Like there was definitely, the throbbing pain was going down. At least for a night. It was hard to sleep, but I was surprised actually that I even fell asleep at all. Because during that daytime, there was no way. It wasn't possible they could fall asleep with that pain. As tired as I was. But so that was day 1. That was all in one
day of the ER.
One day, and I ended up spending 4 days in total there. But yeah, I'll fast forward through these next few days. But I mean, basically, like, you know, I definitely just had to have, like, it was just, the next few days were just all tests. Test. And
just like what, just canceling other options out to make sure that it's what they've diagnosed you with.
And the thing about these tests is you have a lot of patience through. Because they're going to test you at 7 in the morning, and then the next time they're going to test you is at 12 in the afternoon, or 1 in the afternoon. So, and you might not even have your room anymore. They might wheel you out,
move you around,
test you. Oh, we need this room for someone else. Someone just got their arm chopped off.
Yeah.
And they need it more than you. And they're like, okay. Like,
What are you going to do? Argue with them?
I guess so. Yeah, they do. Or whatever. And so then, you know, then I had to go wait in the middle of everything in the hallway.
Oh yeah, like when they brought you back to the hallway.
They rolled my bed with me out there in the middle of everyone. You know, the nurses flying by, the doctors.
It's a lot of movement.
By,
yeah.
You know, all the people in there crazy as hell, in pain, screaming, yelling. You hear all type of languages, cursing doctors out. Like, you know,
it's just mayhem in there.
Patients in so much pain. You know, they're telling doctors, "I'm gonna kill you." Like, why don't you treat me? And which is valid because some of the doctors really weren't giving them the attention that they needed. Like some were actually moving very slowly, like at their own pace. So I could really understand, you know, the frustration sometimes, you know, on both sides.
You just have no information as a patient. You just want to know what's happening, but like all these doctors have 100 people to talk to. You know, so.
Like doctors are definitely dealing with a lot of people, and nurses are dealing with a lot of people during the day, and it's tiring. And at the same time, you know, the other patients there, you know, I saw one patient screaming, you know, in agony. I don't know if she's like pregnant or it's something. I don't know. It was something really bad. Like she was in a lot of pain. And one of the nurses, you know, she's screaming for the nurse, and the nurse is just casually, you know, walking over and, you know, just kind of like not really taking her that seriously. And then, you know, after that, and she's like walking away, you know, and the nurse is just like, you know, casually just chatting with the other nurses, like laughing, like, you know, like not really taking it that serious. So, I mean, I understand, like, definitely the frustration. Like, cause that's the frustration I felt at a lot of points, too. So, you know, the first, you know, day 1 and day 2 were definitely the hardest because, like, mentally, like, you're just in a situation where you're helpless. You can't do nothing about what's going on. Like, you just have to sit there and just wait, you know, for the answers. And, like, when you first come in, you know, when I first came in, doctors were very worried, you know, because they know it was a collapsome, but they don't know, is it like, you know, how serious is it? Because they said, okay, if it's, you know, this, we might have to operate on you, you know, and that's obviously... You don't. No one wants an operation. No one wants that to happen.
It sets off all the like bells and whistles.
Yeah. So for a big portion of day 2, I was just kind of sitting in my bed, just awaiting the results of the tests, whatever it was, the MRIs, to X-rays, you know, all these different things to find out like what's really going on. So, you know, through that time, you just have to, like, I won't say mentally tough, but just let go. Because you just got to understand, like, you're not in control of the situation.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to hope for the best, but be willing to accept whatever it is, you know, whatever happens. Because whatever happens, like, you got, what can you do?
Yeah, it just is the situation in hand.
If they got to operate on you, they got to operate on you. But you just got to, you know, I did my best to just not stress out about it. Not worry too much, you know, but just let go and just say, you know, like, it's in someone else's hands right now.
Yeah, by like day 3, you had a very different spirit. Like when I would come and visit, you were kind of just like very accepting of the situation. And like, it was like sad to see, but also like good that you were like in a better space. You weren't like as stressed out. Because the first 2 days was like, I mean, just so much confusion, like being upset, like wondering what's gonna happen. Like the wonder, like that's what I learned in the ER. It's like the scariest part.
Yeah.
Like they tell you all these like what ifs, it could be this, could not be that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Everybody's just looking for information.
Yeah. Oh, and let me say, too, I forgot about this. Not only did I have a collapsed lung, but I was also dealing with dehydration.
Yeah.
So they tested my kidneys, and my kidneys didn't look right either.
They weren't operating.
It was a combination of a collapsed lung and dehydration.
Yeah, you had full
two things
exhaustion.
going on. Yeah, full heat exhaustion. So, yeah, but yeah, by day 2, 3, my kidneys were looking better, so they weren't worried about the dehydration anymore.
Cleaning that out.
It was just the lung collapse that they were worried about. Some other organ getting infecting my lungs and all that, and then having to operate. Yeah, day 2 and 3, that was more hard mentally, because you're also there and you're seeing everything else. I mean, we saw a guy who was literally chopped off from the waist down.
Yeah.
He only had a top half of his body.
Yeah, that guy.
Getting wheeled in. I don't even know how that's possible.
He was still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's possible.
Yeah.
But he was just from the torso up.
Those are those, like, days we're just waiting in the lobby, and you just see people getting wheeled by, like, I mean, like, they're sprinting, wheeling these people in, and it's like, in the ER, you're like, want to get service, but you see something like that, and you're like, okay, that's clearly, like, top priority here, like, that man will die if he's not taken care of right away, so you kind of, like, accept some of the patients, but then you're like, damn, I really want to get out of here, like, Then they basically held me for, like, another day, just to get more tests. Like, they were saying it looks promising. Good, yeah.
They were still a little worried. Like, I'd see it, they were still worried that...
Yeah, they didn't want it to, like, come back.
Could be wrong or go wrong, and they don't want to, like, let me go. But, I'm still in a good... Like, I feel very fragile at this point. Like, I can't raise my voice without it being in pain. I can't, like, move around so much without being in pain.
Yeah, very limited motions.
Yeah. Moving very slowly, like, to avoid any pain. And, this is like, and to paint a picture, it's like, like every few hours they're drawing blood from you. You take a piss test, they're asking you how you're doing. I mean...
It's just nonstop. Like, there's always something going on.
Like, it's nonstop, but it's slow. Like, it's random. You never know, like, because they could come in...
all unexpected.
They could come into your room at 4 a.m. and be like, oh, we need to draw blood. And then just stick the thing in your IV and then just draw blood, and you gotta go back to sleep.
Yeah.
After that, and then they'll come back, do it again. Come back.
Yeah, like hours later, right when you're like
out of nowhere,
chilling or starting to feel a little comfortable.
Yeah, but so that was day 2 and 3. Just sitting and waiting. Like, I really tried to. In my mind, I envisioned myself as like the Avatar in the Avatar state.
Yeah.
Just kind of just sitting there and just like accepting the situation, but still, not trying to be like over confident about it, but just accepting what it is and like being at peace with it. That's how I'll describe it.
Sometimes like giving it up is like the most powerful thing. Giving yourself the peace of like, I'm just at the mercy of the situation. Right. So and then they're just moving you around. You with this, you got a new roommate. Oh, new roommate like every day. Yeah.
And just seeing like people in the worst conditions.
The last roommate you had was pretty cool though.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm pissing blood. Like, he has some issue. I don't know. He was all right. Like, he could, he was. Yeah, he was mentally there,
perfectly there,
to talk and fine. But he was dealing with his thing. But
had good spirit.
The food.
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
The food, like, this is a problem. This is like my main problem with the hospital. The waiting, all that, like, I understand.
They were giving people soda.
It's aggravating. But the food situation is just ridiculous at a hospital. There should be no reason that a hospital is not serving vegetables at any meal, not serving fruit at any meal. My breakfast was hash browns, fried sausage,
which you can't eat,
and some other.
They have eggs.
Maybe
like powdered eggs.
I can get powdered eggs. I can't remember but no fruit, nothing. Like, no, they have no access for some reason. They don't give you an apple. don't give an orange, nothing.
Yeah.
But like, and for dinner, I mean, I saw them giving Coca-Cola to cancer patients.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, or just sick people in general. Like, why are you not giving people water?
Yeah, like nutrition.
Or like a healthy juice, but you're giving like a Coca-Cola and a Pepsi to sick people. I mean...
Yeah, that was just weird.
That kind of says it all, honestly. Like, I mean, they did a good job with me, like, dealing, you know, like, I'll give them that. They ran me through the test. They did, you know, everything, like, in a professional way, proper fashion, but the food is just kind of ridiculous. Like, there should be no reason. You know, you can't even get cereal. Like, a simple
just
breakfast.
Like Cheerios, something.
Yeah, Cheerios, fruit. I mean, it's all, like, how are you giving people, like... fast food. How are you giving people McDonald's?
Yeah.
Like at a hospital. I mean...
Yeah, a time where your body's not performing at its highest.
Right.
You know, it needs support.
Right. Like
that's when you were like,
that's ridiculous.
Just kept asking me and your dad, you're like...
Yeah, so I just didn't eat that. I'd rather eat nothing. And I didn't. For day 2 and 3.
Yeah, you didn't really
I didn't eat any food. I just had the IV fluid. Which I didn't even want to eat. So, like, I had no appetite.
Yeah. Because
of it. So I was just off the IV fluid and water. Which was fine with me, but I think it's just, you know, that's kind of like contradictory to be trying to treat people for diseases, but you're giving them like the most unhealthy fried foods that you could give them.
Yeah, you didn't even like touch anything they would give you.
Yeah, so that's why I was so happy. Oh my God, Don was there every day. Pull up with food and just chill.
Bring fruit.
I mean, we was having a good time in the hospital, I guess.
Yeah, I was like taking Zoom call meetings in there.
Yeah, we were having, you know, we didn't let the trip go to waste.
No, not at all. We're like, we're going to enjoy this till the end.
Yes, still having a good time in the hospital. And then my dad showed up with like, and he showed up with food too, and that was like the first thing I ate in 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Was the peanut butter toasted bagel, and that was like the best thing I ever had in my life. That was like the
best meal ever.
The best food ever after 4 days of not eating like real solid food. But then you know, they ended up keeping me 1 extra day, which was annoying, but it's whatever.
Yeah, because you were ready to go at that point.
Yeah, they kept me an extra day, blah blah blah, and finally let me go after filling out the paperwork. We was out. And
you got out of there
finally
fast.
Yeah, and then finally made it back home. But you know, even for like the next month, like I was just like, I can't do no active stuff. I can't work out, can't play basketball. Cause I know I'm gonna go too much. Like I can't just be there and not try and not go hard. Yeah. And then you know, I definitely wasn't going to the gym. You know, just in pain. But you know, since then, like I've been feeling like pretty good overall. Like 2-3 months after, it was still it would flare up a little bit, like if I was playing basketball or, you know, working out, and I would just, you know, just be like, okay, well, I gotta stop now. Like, just stop. Yeah. Just don't go. It's not worth it. Like, if you're in pain, something serious like that too, not just an injury, but organ problems, you just stop. Yeah. Because it's not worth it. But right now, you know, I'm doing all right. So I'm still, you know, back to hooping, back to working out. Definitely something I still gotta watch, cause you know, even like after, like you still gotta get checkups. Like I have, you know, I'm still gonna go see a specialist to make sure that things are going the way they're supposed to be going. But yeah, definitely a scary thing. It's something to be aware of, cause I saw like even CJ McCollum and the Portland Trailblazers just had a lung collapse. So who knows if this has something to do with the pandemic or COVID? Like, who knows? I don't know, but it's definitely, you know, something to just be aware of, that something that could happen. Because this is not something I would ever think would happen.
Playing basketball.
A lung collapse. Because they were saying in the hospital, okay, a lung collapse is something that happens to people who get hit by cars. People
it's
who
like
get
severe trauma.
Get hit by cars or get shot or in like a really bad fight, like a professional boxer.
Yeah, I mean getting hit
football,
by
something like that. Like serious, like
super physical sports.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be a sport, but it's usually not even a sport, is what they're saying.
There was nothing physical that happened. This just happened just from running up and down the court.
Yeah. There was no like bad fouls that game.
And the doctors didn't have an answer. They told me
they were confused too.
It happens to tall, skinny men.
Yeah.
I'm not a tall, skinny man. So that response didn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It didn't really answer any questions, but
Can never figure out what the root of it was.
Again, you just gotta accept it for what it is, the situation for what it is, and just move accordingly. But it's just it's just something to be aware of. Like, you never know, like, it could happen to an athlete, a runner, a basketball player. It could happen to anybody. Just when your body tells you like to stop,
you gotta listen, man.
Definitely listen, because you may end up in the hospital for a week.
On July 4th.
When you think you're going on a vacation, trip to be with your college friends, and it ends up being a whole week in a New York hospital in Washington Heights for 4 days. So, not the way I wanted to spend my 4th of July.
But unforgettable nonetheless.
Unforgettable. And it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Hopefully once.
Yeah, heavy on the ones.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about this story for right now, so I'll update y'all if anything else happens. Hopefully nothing else happens.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, but that's the end of the story time.
Alright. Peace.